Hello, ladies and gentlemen. James here. I'll be right with you in a minute. I just seen how everything's set up. I get tell you what's been going on lately. I'm outside on my property near my mailbox, and let's get. All right, how you guys doing? Hope you having a good weekend? I had a good weekend. Uh, my sister came down. She picked me up. Her and her husband. We went to go see a friend of mine's. You know, because he has a her bro her husband has a sister down here, and my and sister pretty much like a sister friend down here that she had to come down and see. So she stopped down, because they was coming down here this weekend anyway because Cat Williams was playing over at the Nationwide Convention Center, and so she said it was already packed. I can very take the video about them. I'm sorry, I had to put the glasses on. They had limited videos stream. We came down, and she got a new vehicle. And this vehicle that she got, and it's made by Ford. Never seen a vehicle, right? You know how most cars, they tell you, you have a mic like your phone. You have a MapQuest direction, and it directs you, and you got the car, right? And usually it tells you, points you where you're going. And so I don't know what Ford did with this car. My brother-in-law called it. He nicknamed it Bougie Blue. This vehicle, it struck you where you're going, and then it gives you emoji, and if you put your name, it gives you all this extra stuff that it gives you some unnecessary directions. It be telling you about stuff. I don't know what's with these new cars, man. The software they put, it's hilarious. I have cracking up, man. Made by Ford. This past weekend, my didn't come down to help me with my window. Show you a video later on another video that I have to take the door off in order to put a new regulator in it. And when my sister come down, she thought, "Who's this?" No, it's just I had to, make plastic so when you drive, you don't want to pull over by the police because, some people put that plastic, especially on the passenger side and the front on the car. So you don't want no. So far I've been passed by some cops, so it probably was good enough for them not to pull me over, and so that's one of the reasons why I had some plastic you can see through, and that's the main thing, that you can see through the vehicle. I just wasn't gonna take that chance and pull it over, so I went down to Lowe's, me some like that plastic for the window, for your apartment windows or house windows, and I taped it up with Scott tape. And what happened was, and I'll show you in the video, it's all of a sudden it was working like the door latch worked, and the other things work on it. My other windows are working. It's just that one window, one part that don't work, that the locks work on. A couple other things on the side, so I'm gonna have to, that's why I thought my friend Nick was gonna come down. I guess he didn't call me, so I don't know if he forgot or he just didn't feel like doing it. Either way, I'm gonna end up doing it myself. I was gonna see if he could help me and show me, we can work on it together. But he's off in this, roller coaster world. He wants to accomplish everything before it gets cold, man. Ride a roller coaster, and how getting people, they even though they do one thing for you, but it's just like, hey, when it's something when you need something, how much I don't know, they just sit around what they want. But so That's what's going on. So let me tell you what happened the night before. Let me tell you about this neighborhood. This neighborhood was really quiet at some point, but the last couple of weeks, I don't know, it's somebody over there behind me. They've been letting off fire M80s, bombs. I mean, fireworks every freaking night, man. I don't know. And it's one of the M80s, so them things shake the whole damn. And it's like, I can understand around the holiday, but it's like people, it's like, damn, nobody don't want to keep hearing that shit every day. And it probably somebody do that this afternoon, be like a big explosion and shit. And it's like, God, dog, it's like you be sitting there enjoying. You're like, what the heck is that? You think it sounds so loud. You think it's like a transform. When these transformers explode, you know how when it explode, they make like a boom sound. So even though ain't nothing you can do, that's a couple streets over. On the other hand, I had this neighbor that stayed not across from me. This couple fights every freaking day. Every freaking day. I ain't never seen a couple that fight every day. I mean, they come outside arguing. Even my sister, her heard it. Sounded like they was arguing. And they was up at, it was like, I was doing a video just like this, watching the video, and I'm hearing all this cussing and fussing, and, I don't know, it sounded like they was, usually, if you're going to argue, can you carry that shit on the inside? Nobody don't want to hear your whole argument on the outside, it got on my nerves last night. I texted my resident manager. She went over to my door, try to see if they could talk some sense into him. But ever since have companies, they're respectful. But this one chick, man, her boyfriend, oh my goodness, they fight. And I'm like this, if as a man, if a woman get on my nerves that damn much, I don't need to be with her to the point that you arguing every day. I mean, every day they take together. It's like, and she has she has a couple kids and stuff like that. They don't live with her, but she have a baby just not born not too long ago. And they was just cutting up last night for my sister before they came. And I tell you, I feel like saying this, and you know how some people, you can tell by where they come from, and the apartment community, I think they give you ample amount of time. But you got some people that, I'm sorry, they need to go back to the projects. They need to be around some people that's crazy. They need somebody around other people that will go around fight and fuss with them, act as nutty. Why is it that they come to a neighborhood like this is a nice neighborhood, people are quiet, everybody mind their business, and you get these individuals that move up in here, they can't stand other than sometimes it's just a bar, so there's nothing you can do about that. Or I understand, so I understand they do it, but it's not really noisy. But you get some people, man, that you get a new attendant, and I don't really make eye contact with them too much. I don't really speak to them all like that because, other people kiss their behind and go and talk to them. I don't want to do. I'm like one of these other neighbors. I don't really make time, and I usually mind my own business because I'm not really nosy. Some people they're a busybody. They know everything because that's how my last complex was. They was always. Somebody was always knowing something was going on. Did you know neighbor and sons or son? No, I ain't even know because once I'm in my apartment, I tune everything out until I come out the next day, and it'd be chaos, man. And it seemed like, one thing I like about this apartment complex is less people, but sometimes the people that they bring to the complex, it's like I don't know, it's like it's quiet here. I'm not used to this quiet. It's like, let's act like a nut or something like that. It's almost like damn, you know. We had a couple people that previous residents that lived here. The one woman, she kept on bringing home this homeless people that would come, right? So they come up through the property, and so sometimes she get in, let them in and let them sleep on the floor or whatever. And so a couple guys here had to kind of run them out. And then, you know, if you have an animal here and as in your residence, you have to have you have to get a permission slip, whatever. So this one woman had a dog, you know, it was her boyfriend's dog, and all of a sudden, you know, but they just said, hey, you know, you need a, you know, because they had a tenant meeting about this. You got to have if the dog, you can stay here, it has to be, because it's for some insurance reasons. You know, that could be for some reason that why some people say if you got pets, you know, they probably got something about that. Some people don't think about that. So if something happened and that dog bites somebody don't like, you know, and then, because this happened to a neighbor, other neighbors got bit by a dog over here. Paid for it. The dog he was on his, didn't have a leash. He was out there, and somehow, and it bit a couple people. I think it bit. So my neighbor said, if that dog bites somebody, I'm gonna knock his head off. So my neighbor carries a, you know, and I don't understand. You know, some people don't understand. Some animals are not used to people. You know, so they're gonna be, an animal is naturally is a protective. So it might think you're doing something to the owner. You know, I mean, my sister. So I know it's because my sister had dogs. She had pet bulls, and I tell you, she had to keep the couple of them downstairs when they were young, because when Honey would hear something, that dog would sound like she was coming through she had her in the cage. You can tell by the growl that dog wanted to come through that cage to see who was up in that apartment. And it was, her growl would really scare me. And I knew that dog was nothing to play with. I mean, you know, and it was a female pet bull. Now, with her pups, you know, it's not that bad. Plus the dog was a boxer of the daddy of the dog. It was a boxer. Every time he barked, he wouldn't really bark.